What's up, guys? This is Angelo from Rizaldi's Automotive talking about our 2012 Peterbilt 337 with a 16-ton Jerrdan integrated unit on it. When I got my CDL, I started off in 14-ton Jerrdan, and we wanted to replace that. And the reason we painted it red again is because our first one was red, even though all of our other things are black and orange. We wanted to resemble our old back in the day. We bought it at an auction in Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana, Illinois.
We picked it up and drove it back home. My brother wanted to do a couple things to it, and he goes overboard, so we literally did a full frame off, everything. We sandblasted the frame, rear, front axle, springs, replaced airbags, shocks. Cross members were completely disassembled, sandblasted and painted. Then we went ahead with redoing the subframe of the wrecker. Along with the boom and underreach, we had to replace a couple pieces that were worn, replace a couple broken bolts and things like that. We took toolboxes, doors, the covers that cover the toolboxes. We sandblasted the toolboxes inside and out. We painted inside and out of them. Then we started with reassembling, and anything that was bad or questionable, we replaced. It's got all new cables for the body, new hydraulic hoses. We replaced the stinger, the crossbar, cables for the controls. They were a little bit sticky. So my son, who just turned 18 and got his CDL, is going to be the one that's going to drive this. That's why it was
Trevor.
Huh? The body was a little bit beat up, and my brother doesn't like that image, so he said, we're going to take it apart, a couple things, and paint them, and it just escalated from there. We ended up taking everything off, including engine and transmission out of it, cab, boom, inner and outers, underreach, cylinders. I repacked all the cylinders. I had to fix the winches. There was a couple pieces missing on them. People broke them. We put on new tires. We polished the wheels, polished the tank, polished the DPF box. Now you see here we're reassembling it. It's almost all back together. We had to wait. Took a little bit of time because we were waiting on parts from Jerrdan. We've been working on it for 8 months, but we don't work on it constantly because it's their own vehicle. We have a repair shop, so we have to work on our customers' vehicles, so we don't work on it all the time. But it was supposed to be something simple, and they don't make these anymore, so we wanted to fix it so we can keep it for a long period of time and not have to worry about anything being wrong with it. We painted our forks orange. We raptored the inside of the toolboxes because they look crusty, not how we like it. But we're going to make some brackets and have everything stored nice and neat in here. Those are the taillight panels. They were stainless steel, but we painted them red. Oh, I forgot. We still got to put the light bar on and the covers that cover the wires around the pylon. I got some steps on the fuel tank. The top of this body panel here is inside. We didn't put it on because we were working on the pylon. Steps for the fuel tank. I have a light here. We ordered a new bumper for it because the old one was bent, and we don't run bent bumpers here. The hood was damaged, so we purchased a new one because there was no used ones on the market, and if they were used, they were not in good condition, so we just bought a new one, and my brother painted it, and we assembled it, and put it on the other day. We just put some new headlights in there because the old ones were not good. This side we just got a DPF's all bolted on. We got to put the cover on, but we were waiting. Got to put the stack on. But they're all last things to do that we're not worried about.
So this truck's pretty much done.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yep.
Less than a year from frame up.
The toolboxes did not look like that when we purchased it. So we're gonna make some brackets. We'll put our hand tools over here. I don't know if we're gonna put a toolbox or make something to hold all the tools so that they're easily accessible, so that they could grab them easily and be able to see what they're doing. Today I'm not working on this because I'm working on my baby over here. I had to do an oil change, fuel filters. I like to check all the bolts on the chassis and what holds the body on, just check over them. Maintenance, I know I do a lot of lifts. I like to make sure all my stuff is correct. I don't have any broken bolts, stretched bolts, or anything that can cause a possible failure. So I like to put it up in the air, drop the oil, change the filters, check over all the bolts, check the brakes, grease everything, then we'll lower it down. And then we'll go over things on the boom, the mast, check winch cables, and grease all those moving parts up there as well. So this truck here is a 2024 Kenworth C500 with a NRC CSR 85 on the back of it. I had a 2016 Kenworth T800W with an 85-ton sliding rotator, also made by NRC. This was what I wanted my first truck to be on, but Kenworth did not offer an extended cab C500 with the SCR behind the cab. This here is the first one. I had a lot of 2 years of arguing with people at Kenworth to get it built, but I needed my old one to get this one built, and here it finally is, and I waited a long time for it. This here is my Lamborghini, as my brother would call it, because I'm a truck guy, I'm not a car guy. And this is the kind of, I like to go underneath. So after I'm done doing my service, I'm gonna power wash under there, because when I have to work on it, I like to be clean. I don't like grease, I don't like dirt, oil, I don't like any of that things while I'm working on my truck. I just had a customer compliment me on my organization of my toolboxes, because he said it's kind of crazy you have a truck like this and your toolboxes are so clean. I said it's easier when I have to work. I know all my stuff is, I know everything's put back in my toolboxes. It's just easier to work clean than messy and dirty. These here are gray 19,000 pound column jacks. I have 8 of them to put this monster in the air. I had 4, I just got the other 4 maybe 2 months ago, but it makes it a lot easier for us to service our truck, so we're able to get these rotators up in the air and check, make sure everything's good, there's no broken bolts, or we can this is how I like my toolboxes organized. I try to keep it clean because it's easier to find things, or I could tell a driver where something's at in the truck and I know exactly where it's at because I put it away, so it's easy for him to find when I need something, when we're out on a wreck or I'm doing a lift or something like that. These here are my new columns here in the back. I just got them 2 months ago. I had 4, now I have 8. It makes it a lot easier when we're working on big things. Put them up in the air and service them. Anything like that. You can see more instead of laying on the ground, rolling around on a creeper. There's more visibility. Here on the back of this 2024 Kenworth C500 is an NRC CSR 85 ton. I always wanted one of these back in 2000, and I got my first one in 2016. This is my second one, and I have a third one on order. thanks for watching and following, guys. Stay tuned for some more lifts and recoveries that we'll be posting.